Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans, diehards, and anyone who just enjoys hearing me talk. Welcome to the very first episode of Dicky Braggs About Sports. I'm Dicky Braggs. Bringing you the hottest takes, the boldest opinions, and just enough nonsense to keep things interesting. This is the show where we mix hard-hitting sports analysis with just the right amount of bias and bravado. Some of you are going to love it. Let's be honest. Some of you are going to hate it, but I bet you a lot of you keep listening. So what's on deck for our debut? We're talking Yankees baseball. We're talking dumb sports takes and whatever nonsense you guys send into the brag bag. Now, let's get into it.
All right, folks. Spring training's here. It means two things. One, either you're like me, a logical, rational Yankees fan, talking themselves into why this is our year and a World Series is inevitable, or two, you're hiding from ledges to jump off of with the injury bug, biting us once again. And honestly, I don't know what to make of it. Let's start off with the good. Okay, let's start off with the good. Jason Dominguez, the Martian. He looks hungry at the plate. The way he's swinging the bat, I have no concern there whatsoever with him at the plate. I think that he could be the answer at leadoff. I think that he could easily, turn a lot of heads. My issue is, can the man play left field? Was a 2-week cram session enough? Shouldn't he have been out there drilling all offseason, playing left field, learning left field? People are honestly talking about, are you going to swap him to center field when he can barely play left field and move a Gold Glove 28-year-old that you just traded for in Bellinger to left field? How does that make any sense? I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned on where these guys are going with it. If he doesn't figure out left field, there's really going to be cause for concern. Now I'm hoping, there's rumors about Verdugo and a $9 million contract with all the injuries. I don't know that that's the answer because he couldn't seem to hit at all. I think you're going to want Dominguez in the lineup. I mean, do you DH Dominguez while Stanton and the rest of the injuries sort themselves out? That's something you got to think about. I mean, yeah, Dominguez in left field. Can he play the position? It's really going to be crucial. You really don't want to have another year like last year when you're playing so many guys out of position. Let's move on to the rotation. Garrett Cole, locked in. Max Fried, Mr. 1A. Now, the news about Lewis Heel came out today. It's imperative that guys like Will Warren step up. It's imperative. Looks like not dealing Stroman was a good move for them because, let's be honest, they need him. They need him now. His attitude of bravado, I'm a starter. Well, guess what, bud? You're gonna be a starter. With Heel probably out until June. Let's be perfectly honest with him building up. Last year it was a lot, 150 plus innings for the first time in his career, also coming off a major injury. So, the injury bug is something is something to look at. Now we can move to the infield, right? People are worried about the infield. Who's playing third base? Is Paul Goldschmidt too old? Okay, Paul Goldschmidt's going to be adjusting to first base for the Yankees, not first base in general. Okay, that's his position. He's held it down. Gold Glove, MVP 2 years ago. I mean, Paul Goldschmidt, if you combine everything that the Yankees had the last 2 years at first base, he far exceeds. He had a bad year last year. If he just does what he did last year, he outperforms what we had at first base. And it's not even close, guys. It's not even close. All right. Anthony Volpe. Now, the glove's there. You know he's there. You know the glove's there. You know he's a Gold Glover. Okay. What we need to know is if that bat that showed up in the playoffs is going to continue to show up. Is he going to continue to be who he was in the playoffs? And I think that he is. I think that if you're concerned about Volpe, you shouldn't be. I think Volpe is solid. I think you got him and Jazz. They're going to be formidable for the middle of the infield. You know, the Yankees need to stay healthy. If they stay healthy, it's a dangerous team. They're going to play good defense. They're going to have good pitching. Their bullpen is sound. I think it's a dangerous team. If they don't stay healthy, it's going to be a long summer. And you know, listen, the last couple of years, June and July have really, really been terrible for us. It's the difference. You know, last year we still made it to the World Series, but we had a historic, terrible summer. So if the injuries keep piling up, we're going to have a long year, and it's going to say either it's going to be a long summer. Or it's going to say, oh, we'll get them next year. And I'm not really looking to do that. And I'm sure a lot of you have lost patience in the get them next year mentality. We just made the World Series. We need to be better than that. How are we better than that? How do we not get embarrassed off the field? You know? Send me your thoughts. Get at me at Dicky Braggs on Instagram. Comment on this. Tell me what you think happens. And we'll be back in a minute. All right, let's start things off with brag or drag. This segment is where I tell you if something's worth celebrating, we'll give it a brag. Or if it needs to be thrown in the Hudson River, we'll give it a drag. First up, we got Aaron Judge, big time brag. This man is the franchise, the captain, the guy pitchers wake up in cold sweats over. Okay, listen, I know there's a lot of injuries out there, but he took his first at bats on Saturday. He looked great. He looked locked in. I'm telling you now, if he is healthy throughout the year, we're talking another monster MVP year. Write it down. Take note. Monster MVP year. Okay. The next one. It's the Yankees. Injury, bad luck. Drag. Every season, we're seeming to lose at least half the roster before April's even over. Case in point, Luis Heel, the news came out today, sidelined with a high degree lat strain. They're saying he's not even going to throw for at least 6 weeks. What is going on? Big time drag. Next up, here's a controversial one. I love it. I love him. Giancarlo Stanton. I know there's a lot of you out there that want to drag him, but you know what? I got to do it too. It's a drag. The guy's starting the season on the injured list. Okay. He's having double elbow issues. They're sent him to New York. Now they're saying it's personal reasons. The news is getting out there. It's very odd and it's very cryptic. I'm not sure what's going on. It's leaving a gigantic hole in our DH position. Also, you know, after his playoffs, we were hoping to get him back and healthy to have another build on that momentum and have a great year. But it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. I'm going to have to give Giancarlo the drag. What do we got next? How about these MLB uniforms? So last year they signed the deal with Fanatics, right? And everybody seemed to look like a wet dog. You can't sweat in a jersey when you're playing in mid-July without soaking through it. What are we doing here? MLB, we really need to get this together because we got the guys out there looking like they're in a beer league, softball league. And I don't even understand how it could even get that bad. I tell you what, MLB, fix it. All right, let's shift gears to some basketball because, folks, the New York Knicks are actually good.
He's heating up.
I know it's weird, right? But the last few years, man, these guys, Tibbs has them playing well. The Nova Knicks, man,
He's on fire.
they're in the thick of the playoff race. They're currently the 3 seed. And it appears for once Knicks fans aren't just screaming into the void, right? Now, problems aside from the top 3 teams above them, they are playing lights out. So let's run it back. Let's run it back with the brag or drag. Okay. And once again, if it's a brag and if it's a drag, let's do NBA edition, brag or drag. First up, we got Jalen Brunson. Big time brag. This man is playing like he was sent here by the basketball gods to finally make Knicks fans believe again. Clutch shots, smart plays. He's carrying this team when it matters. Brunson is him. If he doesn't get more MVP love, I'm personally launching an investigation. This guy is so good when it matters, and we're lucky to have him. Next up, we got the Knicks defense. Another big-time brag. Tibbs has his team locked in. When it matters most, they come up with the plays. OG and McHale on the wings. They're playing like they actually care. Shocking, I know. Josh Hart, heart and soul of the team. We got Mitchell Robinson back. OJ Anunoby and McHale on the wings are absolutely crushing it and making life miserable for the opposing offenses every time they step on the floor. Now let's go with Mikal Bridges. Woof. This one's a tough one to call. It's so inconsistent, but I'm going to go drag for now. I know Knicks fans were expecting a hell of a lot more, especially with giving up 5 draft picks for him. I personally was at the game last week. He had 18 points in the first quarter, and I think he finished with 26. I mean, if you're going to give up five draft picks for somebody, I get it. He's not taking consistently as many shots as he was in Brooklyn. You know, it was the number 1 option. Now he's, some nights he's the 4, some nights he's the 3. But you can't be dropping 41 in a night and the next night, you're just getting your cardio out there. We need more on a consistent basis. I really like his game. I'm glad that the hiccup of his jump shot, he reverted to whatever his jump shot was before, because whatever it was in the beginning of the season was hideous. But I'm excited. I'm excited for what these guys can do defensively. And I know the offense is there. There's enough shots to go around, and I'm hoping that he figures it out for this stretch run to the playoffs. All right. Then the last one we got, LeBron James, the enigma face of the league. All right. He's 1 point away. By the time this comes out, he's probably going to get it, but he's 1 point away from his 50,000th career point. I mean, what could this be other than a brag? We'll give him the brag. We'll give him the air horn. It's a huge brag. Whether you love him or you hate him, this is a ridiculous milestone. No one's ever done it. No one's probably ever going to do it again. 50,000 points. That's not just longevity. That's sustained greatness. He could drop 20 a night at 50 years old if he wanted to. I think the way that he keeps himself in shape, I think, honestly, He is. I mean, he's in that upper echelon of Mount Rushmore, we call it, right? You know, congrats to LeBron. You deserve it. All right, here we are. My favorite segment is the brag bag, okay? Time for rapid fire brag bag. You send the takes, I react. Okay? Let's get into it. The Mets.
Emotional damage.
The Mets will finally get it together. Is that a joke? Drag. Nah, it's not going to happen. It's not happening this year. I'm telling you right now. Juan Soto taking that gigantic contract and the way they treated Pete Alonso and that patchwork rotation that they're throwing out there, they're real. Oh my God, Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes hasn't allowed a run yet. It's March 3rd. Okay. Let's keep that same energy after May, like a typical Mets fan. They're going to have a hot start, and then May they're going to come back down to life June. And let's see where they're at, okay? Because I don't think that they're gonna be there at the end. I think that they're gonna have a good team. I don't think they have a great team. I think that they're always gonna be the illegitimate stepson or stepbrother of the Yankees, and unfortunately, it's not gonna happen, pal. Not in my lifetime. All right, next, Volpe is winning a Gold Glove. Let's see. Volpe's winning a Gold Glove. Brag. Kid's got it. I'm telling you now. Jersey boy playing at home, loves it. Loves where he plays. The bat's coming along. He showed a lot of things in the playoffs. I think, I think he's going to be there, and I'm not worried about him whatsoever. All right, next. What do we got? The Yankees should trade for a third baseman. I mean, tell him what he's won. This is not groundbreaking stuff. Okay. I don't want to see a competition of who's going to bat 150. Okay. Right now, you got Peraza is hitting 400 in spring training. Reasonable. Till he shows me he can take big league bats, right, in the regular season and really do something. I'm questionable about him. Cabrera, okay? He is a stud on the left, from the left side of the plate. He cannot hit righty. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You don't have a DH. You're going to have a really thin bench. Grisham's hurt, his hamstring. I don't know, who knows how long that's going to take. I think you have to go out there. You got to make a move. I think you have to. I think there's too much going on. DJ LeMahieu's already hurt, a calf injury. You know, who knows how long that's going to take. I really just don't think you could stand pat. Now, it's going to sound crazy. George Lombard, 19 years old, looks like the real deal. That I could see. I could see George Lombard starting off in AAA, right, or AA, wherever he's at, and at some point in the summertime, you're going to see him come up. Now, that's something you got to watch out for. If he keeps swinging that bat. Also, you got Ben Rice. Ben Rice put on 10 pounds of muscle, looks like a stud. Hitting the ball almost 8 miles per hour on average faster. Now, I could get behind that. Backup catcher. Backup first baseman off the bench. He belongs. He wants to be there. He's hungry for it. I think that's something to look forward to. And Ben Rice, I like it. I think
He's heating up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see good things out of him. But I think there's one more move that needs to be made. Okay, the Knicks will make it past the first round of the playoffs. I appreciate you setting this in. That's a big time brag. Okay, this team has the grit. They made it past the first round last year. They're going to do it again. I think it's safe to say that we're looking at a second round matchup against, the 1 or the 2 seed that we have not played well against. But I am anxiously excited to see how that plays out in a 7-game series. Next, we got, Mikal Bridges will average 25 points for the rest of the season. I really really love the guy. I love the way he plays. I love his relationship with Brunson and Hart. But like I said, I was at the game against the Sixers. We had 18 in the first quarter. I think he finished with 26. Consistency has just not been his forte. If he can do it, I would love to be proved wrong. But as it stands right now, I don't think that is a real possibility. Okay, what's next? LeBron's 50,000 points makes him the undisputed GOAT. Drag. Big time drag. GOAT debate is definitely more complicated than 50,000 points, but for me, it's MJ. It's always going to be MJ. It's MJ. MJ's the GOAT. Everyone else is playing for 2 and 3. Okay. Very impressive. LeBron's been a warrior. Iron, the Iron Horse. He's basically been able to make it without any serious injuries. He takes really good care of himself, but the GOAT is MJ. Okay. There's a reason the Jordan 1 came out the day I was born. MJ is the GOAT. All right, last one. The Knicks should trade for a superstar this summer. A superstar this summer? I think that's a drag. Who are they going to trade? Who are they going to trade for, and what are they going to trade? What could they possibly give up? Like, what are you going to split up Brunson? You just got Cat. Like, Mikal's there. OG just got his contract. Like, Josh Hart's there. I mean, where are you adding? If anything, they got to build out the depth of their bench, right? They got to build up the depth of their bench. I don't think bringing in a washed superstar was the answer. I mean, they flirted with the idea of Paul George in the offseason. Thank God they didn't do that deal. I think they stand pat and just develop their bench. I think that's where it's at. All right, the Knicks are rolling, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? After wins over the Sixers, Grizzlies, and Heat, they've got a tough stretch coming up ahead. Up next, we got the Warriors. Normally, I'd say meh, but they've been on fire since adding Jimmy Buckets. The Knicks, they have the defense to slow them down, but Steph Curry's coming off a 56-point performance against the Magic. They're going to need big games from Brunson. Big game Brunson. I think he stepped up as always. Mikal Bridges, you got to keep Steph and Co in check. And then there's the injury watch, right? Josh Hart is nursing an injury. Mitchell Robinson just back. How are they going to play his minutes? Is he in? Is he out? What's going on with Cat? Every time we get a little bit of momentum in the season, there seems to be a little bit there, that's holding them from getting over the edge. Hopefully we don't have any more curveballs. Everyone's healthy and we're getting geared up for this real playoff run. I mean, if they survive this stretch, we're talking about a legitimate shot at a deep run in the playoffs. And I said it, deep playoff run. Deep playoff run. Knicks fans, breathe it in, because when's the last time we could say that with a straight face consistently over the last couple of years? Okay, I think we're in a good shape. I like this team. I like the moxie. Mitchell Robinson coming back is a huge add. Got to have Cat back. They got to stay healthy. Yeah, and I think we're going to be in good shape. And we're back. All right. Now this one I scour the internet every week for the worst take of the week. Okay. The dumbest. Let's talk about the absolute dumbest take of the week. And folks, this week we got a winner. Someone on X. Okay. It's at my Yankees 2 cents. Okay. At my Yankees 2 cents. This is you, pal.
A tremendous loser.
He said, and I quote, imagine Steve Cohen decided to buy the Yankees and combine the two teams. What would that team look like? Who would make the cut? Listen, pal, I got something for you. Why? Just why, my guy? Are you an actual fan of baseball? What kind of hypothetical are we doing here? Spring training's here. It's not the off season. That comment right there, you know what I call that? That is a written participation trophy. It isn't even the least bit entertaining. Like it's not provocative. No one is sitting here going, "Oh my God, I wonder what that team would look like." Who cares? Okay? It's like Billy Madison, okay? I award you 0 points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Imagine being an adult and putting that out there, and it's almost as if you don't have a fully developed brain. It's like, seriously, guy, do your parents even know that you're on social media? Do you need their permission? Hey, bud, it's 9 p.m. It's past your bedtime. Time for bed. All right, we have another stupid, dumb take of the week. And this one's a real gem, okay? Hoops Guru on X, Twitter for the old people. I quote, the Knicks should tank the rest of the season to try and get a better draft pick. That's a joke, right? It's definitely a joke. It has to be a joke. What are you saying? Do you even watch this team? The Knicks are fighting arguably for home court advantage. I mean, they're the 3 seed, and it's not even close, but they're leaps and bounds better than the 4 seed. And I don't understand who would say that with a straight face. That's a troll, right? You have to be trolling. Hoops Guru, are you trolling? Okay. You want them to pack it in for what? Do they even have a first round draft pick next year? That's straight up loser talk. Okay. That's like a Sixers fan being like, I still believe in the process. It's over. The process is over. Newsflash. Write that on the process tombstone. It's over. Embiid is done for all intents and purposes. The process is over, and the Knicks will not be tanking for a draft pick, which I'm not even sure that they even have. Okay, we're building something here. Tibbs is building something here. Winning is what we're building. Breeding a culture of winners. So, Hoops Guru, go sit in the corner. Think about what you've done. You're on timeout. Do better. All right, I need to say this. The Knicks have the formula for a deep playoff run. Okay, they've got a playoff. They have a floor general in Jalen Brunson, a defensive core that plays lockdown defense, and a coach who holds his guys accountable. I'm not saying that they're taking down the Celtics tomorrow. Okay, we know that they've had trouble with the Celtics, the Cavs, the Thunder, but this isn't the same old Knicks. Okay, they're tough. They're working on their depth now that they have Mitchell Robinson back. And if they can stay healthy, relatively healthy, they're going to make noise in the East, okay? My only thing is that Tibbs got to play his bench. He's got to play his bench. Knicks fans believe. I believe. I think we're headed for an Eastern Conference championship game series or better, okay? And as it goes, if I'm wrong, we just won't talk about it. All right. We won't talk about it. But I'm telling you, I think the Knicks are suited for a deep playoff run. Yeah, I think that we're going to see some special games in the playoffs and a nice run to end out the season. Very first episode of Dicky Braggs About Sports. All right, here's how I'm going to end things. We're going to end things with a little bit of a rant, okay? And I'm going to tell you why the Yankees have the best chance in the AL of winning the World Series. Okay. Before we go, I have to get this off my chest. I'm tired of people saying the Yankees haven't won since 2009. Yeah, and your team hasn't won ever. This is the most successful franchise in sports. We don't do rebuilding years. We reload, and this year we're coming for it all. Judge, Fried, Cole. Tell me another team that has a better pitching duo between Cole and Fried. I'll wait. You tell me. Tell me that back end of the bullpen isn't one of the best in baseball. You tell me that we haven't fixed a lot of the mistakes that we had that were glaring last year. Tell me our bullpen isn't going to strike out more people between Devin Williams, Fernando Cruz, Luke Weaver, Johnny Lasagna. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And you know what? Guess what? They're going to win. And if I'm wrong, we're just not going to talk about it. So that's it for me, Dicky Braggs. And that's it for the first episode of Dicky Braggs About Sports. If you loved it, tell your friends. If you hated it, tell your enemies. Just make sure they listen. All right? We'll be seeing you next time.